Hi everyone, my name is Jayden and this is my testimony. I lived in Ottawa for 4 years, but I was born in Mississauga, Ontario to two immigrant parents. But I also have two siblings who are 11 and 15 years older than me. So I grew up pretty fast, always learning from them, watching their mistakes, observing from them. I was pretty independent at a very young age. From the time I was 9, I was already serving in church, from the usher team to the tech team, even the choir. Wherever they would take me, I would serve. Now, that's mostly because I have a heart for service, and also because in my house, church was not an option, it was mandatory. All that turned out to be a blessing. I had developed such a genuine love for God. I even remember the day that I realized that I love the Lord with all my heart. My spirit shed tears of joy. So at 12, I accepted the gift of salvation and I was baptized in the old little church that I grew up in. To this day, it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I chose to surrender, to give my life to the Lord, and He has never departed from me, even when I departed from Him. Things got a little rocky when I left home for university. I was 18 and I moved 5 hours away to Ottawa, a city at least for me, that had no friends or family. And here lies the beginning of, well, my downfall. There were so many new opportunities, so many new things, choices, and dangers. What I needed to do was clear. It was trust the Lord, and He'll take me through it. What I ended up doing was trusting myself. I searched for comfort and fulfillment in everything. I needed money to help get myself through school, so I worked a lot. It gave me a lot of experience, but it also took up a lot of my time. I went out to social outings to make friends, even if our values didn't align. And things, well, really moved fast. All of a sudden I was at parties I didn't want to be at, relying on intimate relationships that I didn't need. All of this just to feel like I could belong, yet nothing ever satisfied. What had started as me trying to stand on my own 2 feet led to a dark pit. I could actually feel my soul drifting from the Lord. One night I had this terrifying dream that I couldn't wake up from. I was falling from the sky into a bottomless pit, and the world was falling apart around me. On my left side, there was bombs. On my right side, there was wars and fire. But I could feel something reaching out for my soul. It was like a hand wrapped in white light reached out and grabbed me. This was a calling to my spirit. There was a voice saying, "Come to me." I woke up in a panic, and the realization of the sin I was in hit me in full force. So I immediately repented. But as it goes with addictions and struggles, it took some time to walk away from all the temptations. I made a lot of mistakes, but the biggest one was when I stopped going to church. When you grow up in the same church for 18 years, you never really know how to search for a new one. So for the first time in my life, I found myself churchless. That changed at the end of 2023. The Lord said, "Enough is enough." And I nervously began looking, and He led me to Bethl. Within a few months, He stripped me of the garments the world had dressed me in and clothed me in the ones He purposely designed for me. At Bethl, I began serving as part of the production team, and I just felt at home. A few months later, someone invited me to Sanctuary Youth, and I just felt the Lord's presence so heavily in that room. I had never seen anything like it. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever witnessed. His spirit, so heavy and vast, yet moving so powerfully throughout such a small space. It was in this moment that I felt the Lord speak to me and tell me, "This is where you belong." One thing about serving the Lord, when you're truly serving the Lord in obedience, is that as much as you're pouring out, He will multiply it and pour back into you. My longing to serve is being used as God intended. My heart of service has been restored. I had broken the chains that had me bound. I surrendered the heavy burdens. Now I'm walking in obedience. It wasn't easy. The Lord even told me to let go of some relationships along the way, but all of it was worth it. I remember the little boy who loved the Lord with all his heart, mind, and soul. The world tried to steal that identity. The Lord rescued me and reminded me of who I am. Matthew 7:7 says, "Seek and you shall find." I searched the world for belonging and identity, but the materialistic things did not satisfy. But when I sought the Lord, He heard me, He answered me. He delivered me from all my fears and provided more than the world could ever offer, just as David writes in Psalm 34. So Bethl, you may not fit into the world around you, but that's because the Lord has set you apart. I didn't understand what that meant back then, but I understand it now. So I hope my testimony helps you understand it too, that in God's kingdom, you belong. My name is Jayden, and this is my story.